once upon a time. But what about before there was time? Before there were mass media and skyscrapers? Before our ancestors sat around a fire, dreaming of what lay beyond the stars? Before the first cell broke from prescribed tradition, daring to venture out of the murky aquatic depths?
Well, in the meantime, I'll just keep on explaining the working on it, but please start from the beginning. Now, this particular thing shows that how life started on this earth. I would like to tell you that that absolute intelligence and incapable force is in the form of particle and wave theory in the modern science. Particle of light, it can become a wave or a particle anytime, anywhere, because the science has proved that the particle behaves intelligently. It can become a wave or a particle, or it can pass through double slit by dividing itself into two. So now the creation is an intelligent design. Even a blade of grass is intelligently designed. So understanding the intelligence which is working...
Like to tell the stories of...
So this is what has to be understood, that how that intelligence is in here. How we are connected to that. How it created the whole cosmos. We have even covered that how the first atom, hydrogen, came up, and how the two hydrogen atoms fused together created helium. Helium and hydrogen fused together created the first galaxy of suns. And in my scriptures it is written, कि पहला ज्ञान सूर्य को दिया. How two suns together created the remaining 100 and odd elements. It's a beautiful videos which I can't show you in this small little time. We will do it some other time. So here I am trying to tell you that your soul, which I call it as a creative intelligence, is connected to its source in real time. And that is, the connection is through the nad, we call it in scriptures, known as wave. Wave means the sound. So you are light and sound. And once you look at this earth where water was there, the molten lava was there, it was boiling, cooling down, and it created the proteins. Proteins are compounds of elements. If you add a drop of amino acid, only then the life starts, as you know. So your soul as light and sound struck on pure elements, along with laws of nature which you acquired. So I'll always say this, that we have acquired the mind and created the body. So how all that system has gone, that you acquired the first mind from the universal mind in the form of causal mind and created a causal body, which is known as Ardhanareshwar. As the ma'am been telling about woman, so the soul can acquire a body of a woman or a man. It is equal. So that Ardhanareshwar, because we needed the senses to sense the material creation, which is time bound. So then we did the next step. Who are we? We are that soul, connected to our source, absolute intelligence, capable force. So my soul acquired the mind, and then it had a sketch of a human body like Ardhanareshwar. The next step was that my soul further worked and created astral mind and astral body from a single cell to the crown of creation, the human body. As I was explaining, if light and sound, along with laws of nature, strikes on pure elements, converts them into amino acids, and amino acids synthesize the proteins to make the first single cell. And now from that single cell, where a lot of information is there, it had started from that single cell to reach the crown of creation, the human body. And this is how your creative intelligence, which remains connected to its source, started working. And beautiful thing is this, that information in that single cell, which is the mind of the single cell, this single cell dies. The mind and soul goes back to the astral region, comes out again to make a double cell organism. It dies again, it goes back again into the astral mind and astral body, comes out again, because astral mind and astral body has got a complete plan. right from the single cell. So you have got that ability to do state-of-art planning ability and its execution ability. So you had planned the whole body to reach the crown of creation, the human body in the astral region. So you are going back and forth, and you are experienced persons to have died 8.4 million times as per our scriptures. So we are experienced people. We have designed this body having all those things, And I would like to say that single cell, when it comes into the mother's womb, what it has got? The egg of the mother and sperm of the father. Now on the father's side, all that information of his ages, is there in that cell. That information from the father's side. Something similar from the mother's side. All that information is there in that cell, the first zygote. And this information amazes me, that they take your saliva and see how that soul, creative intelligence, used the laws of nature to get it imprinted in your DNA. All that saliva has got all that information you can see. You can connect all those genetics, back and forth. So that is what I would like to say, that your creative intelligence has done wonders, And I would like to show you this small little video, please, if you can put it on. Beginning
We
of
like to tell
life.
the stories of our lives by beginning once upon a time. But what about before there was time? Before there were mass media and skyscrapers? Before our ancestors sat around a fire, dreaming of what lay beyond the stars? Before the first cell broke from prescribed tradition, daring to venture out of the murky aquatic depths? Before those anonymous chemicals hit upon the magic combinations that would form the twining, helical, universal ladder of life? Back when there was only blackness and noxious gases and rock? What put the whole amazing pageant in motion? This is one view. In the valley between great prehistoric cliffs, where water, the substance of our unwritten beginnings, accumulated, dissolving, mixing, churning carbon and sulfur, hydrogen and oxygen, into a history not yet dreamed. An occasional phosphorus atom breaches the surface of the pool that will one day yield something wonderful, something living. New combinations flirt with being, but nothing so extraordinary as when the eternal darkness is shattered by God's own thunder.
Light and sound.
In the mercurial
Strikes on
blackness,
pure elements.
the power to transform is unleashed with Zeus's lightning bolt. Begetting in its sulfurous wake chemical progeny, a litter of new forms emerge: amino acids, sugars, triglycerides, nucleotides. They twist and turn in the watery cradle, the crucible of creation, the organic soup that holds an uncertain promise of a tenuous future. Silently, an amino acid reaches for another of its kind. Now a dipeptide. A third is added. Now a tripeptide. An eon or two of time passes. There is no hurry, no deadline, no plan. Only the endless testing of combinations, the relentless search for a stable outer shell of electrons. In the fullness of time, a protein is made, and then a carbohydrate, and at last, nucleic acids, the keeper of the code. The template of our inheritance is at last written. Encircled and enveloped by the Janus-faced one, seeking both water and lipid, A rippling membrane divides the world, creating inside and outside, the self and the other. Immortality is forged through the marriage between DNA and protein, a reciprocal bond, a chemical yin and yang, from which cellular obsession, practiced over and over, 1 trillion times per second,
Trillion times per
endlessly
second.
copying
It is happening
the
in your
genetic
body
legacy
now.
bequeathed by our ancestors, ceaselessly transcribing the encoded messages. A seeks out T. G accepts only C. Our biochemical bedrock, the ubiquitous proteins, is formed. And from so simple a beginning, the power to create life is unleashed on an unsuspecting planet.
So this is how you created life. You have done it. The kind of confidence, this creative intelligence in you knows everything. And I would like to request the next one is genetic engineering. The next file. So you will find that how really we did all this. Right from a single cell, we have come down to the crown of creation, the human body. Will you please go to the next few more slides? Can you bring that?
So this is the pointer for you.
Yeah.
This for the next slide, this is for the previous slide, and this one for the pointer.
This one I can. Next slide. Okay. Okay, here I would show you, well, these are some of those now this is a chart, from here you started when the first life started, and going through that amoeba, the first single cell, you crossed these 8.4 billion species to reach the crown of creation, the human body. I think this is what is it's not there. It is the human body here. Now you can see that you have done it all. Now this creative intelligence has to be moved to do self-regulation of the human organism, how to remain healthy. Because each cell is connected, and I would like to say that you can do genetic engineering, which is the most important part to understand. I won't go into further details that how you created all this. In a single sentence, I would like to say that your attention is the outer expression of your creative intelligence, and wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows, which is all-knowing, all-pervading. So this attention has designed everything. It is a capable force. It has got beautiful attributes, state-of-art planning ability, and its execution ability. So developing your belief in yourself, that you are the creator, Aham Brahmasmi, that you are part of that, that is what the humanity has to know and start working on holistic things. Because your divinity has got beautiful attributes, which I would like to tell you in those words which we explain. In yoga also, your soul has got beautiful attributes like love, compassion, mercy, wisdom, humility, state-of-art planning ability, its execution ability. Let us face as it comes, because we have faced 8.4 million species, all the conditions we have lived in. So we have got that inherent ability. And then justice, appreciation for others, whereas your mind is dealing only with information, nothing else. And that information is what? Regarding the experiences and events of your life, whatever has happened here, in the form of memories it is there, and the kind of experiences we have in this body. Body deals with hunger, clothes, housing, vanities of the world, sex and sleep. Whereas the mind deals with the information, which is lust, anger, ego, attachment, deceit, fears and worries. Because you pre-calculate the future, fears and worries get added into that. So looking into the whole scenario, you please understand that your soul has got all the solutions of life. This is what makes you so good. Mental health is there. If you can understand that ability of your soul which has got love, compassion, mercy, wisdom. Wisdom is like an omni scanner. Your attention, which is like a particle of light, connected with the sound to its source, particle and wave theory, it is really like an omni scanner which knows everything. So that omni scanner, if we can use, it is full with all the knowledge. It is part of all knowing, all pervading. If you look, I would like to give you a small little example and close my talk, because I have been told that we cannot go beyond 2 o'clock. So I would like to finish in another 3 minutes. I have got, so much I'm full with it. I don't know when Anuradhaji will organize things to tell the students about the whole concept, which will take hours for us to explain in different classes. We will have about 12 lectures on it, covering each and every aspect of life. It's a beautiful area to know your own abilities, how you can really remain mentally healthy and happy and healthy life you can have, because all those cells will get self-regulation of the human organism, because you created them. In the mother's womb, that single cell, it becomes from one to many, as Ekam Bahusham in my Shastras, that the God was one and alone and became from one to many. And that cell zygote is becoming from one to many, carrying all that information. As soon as it reaches the location of the heart, it transforms itself into a cell of a heart and becomes from one to many, and the whole heart is formed. The same cell goes down to the kidney, develops your kidney. The same cell goes down to the eye, which is more complex than your brain. Can you imagine this? And that is what is being created within you. So now, understanding holistically, we call it as cosmic cognitive restructuring. These three, all living beings are three: body, mind and soul. Even that small little plant, the seed is three. It has got a material body, it has got a mind, whether वो गेहूं का है, चने का है या आम का है, and then it has got a creative intelligence. You put that seed into a dry sand, it won't germinate. As soon as the rain comes, the life triggers into it. Multitasking. All those things are going into the ground. The bud is looking at the sun to do photosynthesis. You are teaching your children. It already knew how to use solar energy. We are making solar panels now. Can you imagine? It is part of all knowing, all pervading. It has got all the solutions of life. So let us talk next time on it. I have got only 1 more minute. If anything, any questions are there, I can ask in a minute, please.
Sir, it's a beautiful description you have given about the life, and it was goosebumps were there in my hands and body. So really I'm very much thankful to God what He has created and what are the things. And you, sir, you have explained it so good that there were goosebumps on me. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. And last word, I would like to say that you have got your mind which deals with information, and in this world, you don't run your mind. The universal mind with high tide, low tide, which you mentioned, runs your mind because it can move the earth, the waters. High tide, low tide, you have got 75-80% water in your body.
Yes.
It strikes some of the portions of your brain which deals with lust, anger, ego, attachment, deceit, fears and worries. It triggers and your moods swing. And that is how you do some of the actions. If you know how to develop that restraining intelligence to hold that universal mind to take you through the karma theory and how to really come out of that towards moksha, that you know that what you are and you are not being rather motivated by the universal mind to get into an act which you never wanted to do as per karma theory, because the laws of nature deal with every action has got equal and opposite reaction. You are tied up with this here in this world. If you know, then you will not give your attention to the illegitimate needs of the mind and illegitimate needs of the body.
Yeah.
If you know this, now all this needs to be carried to the small children, from the nursery class onwards. Somebody said it, that this needs to go to the schools.
Yes.
And we must start from those schools and tell those children then how it works. I would like to say in another minute or two, look at the giraffe. It has got 7 bones. Humans have got 7. Dog has got 7. The attention of the giraffe was to eat the tender leaves from the top of the tree. Gradually, his neck and legs became taller. Something similar, the Myanmar woman put those rings around the neck to make the neck taller by about a feet. The bones are only 7. Now you can see and feel that what your attention can do. Wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows. So let's talk about it. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Your deep knowledge has made a lasting impact on all of us. I request our chairpersons to present memento to our speaker.
I am honored. Thank you very much. We've related it to everything, how things come up. Thank you very much.
We are blessed to be
And how this sunflower moves and how intelligent it is. That it has, yeah, but at the same time it has changed the colors of the sea to black, because it already knew that the solar panels are black, What to do? To do seva, because they are not producing for themselves. Goes into the ground, takes out that oil which the mummy will produce halwa and puri out of that. That's how we are telling children. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request Anuradha Iyer ma'am to kindly come upon stage to present memento to our esteemed chairpersons.
जैसे को पोएट्री बोल रहे हो मैं तो आज सोच रहा हूँ बहुत अच्छे हो मैं सही टाइम पर आ गया आपसे
अलग ही था। मुझे सारे बच्चों को सुनाना है। अब हम एक फोटो ले लेते हैं ना, ये मौका कब आएगा? आगे ना एक और ले लेते हैं। मुझे सारे फोटोज कल चाहिए ना, मैं पेन ड्राइव लेके आया। अपने डेली थक नहीं सकती, तो वहाँ बैठे बैठे चेयर में थैंक यू डॉक्टर सुधाकर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग। वी आर सो ब्लेस्ड, वी आर सो ब्लेस्ड। बहुत अच्छे थे, देखो कितने ब्लेस्ड हो गए सारे, सब गायब हो, ग्रुप मैं बीच में, अरे सर भी हो गया। सर आपके साथ आ रहा है। सर आपके साथ
आपको अपने डिस्टर्ब करते हैं अब पूरा ऑडियंस होना है तब आपका अगला